Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and after I did my spotting a fake natty thing, people have brought up Dr. Eric Helms, who I have had previous conversations with. We used to post in the same subforum on a forum before, and I find it interesting that people are saying that Dr. Helms is saying that a fat-free mass index of 25 is more of the average among natural bodybuilders, and that plenty of guys are exceeding that while in contest condition. Well, here's the reality. You take someone like Dr. Helms, who has previously admitted to doing a super drill cycle because he did do it when it was still legal in the US and legally allowed in his federation, and logged the results, and he gained 5 pounds of muscle that he kept. I think this was around 2006. After a decade of training and being a very, very knowledgeable bodybuilding coach who has, again, a PhD in nutritional science, he has a very strong understanding of training programming, who has applied all of his knowledge to himself. And with average genetics, he has not been able to reach a 24 or a 25 fat-free mass index while under 10% body fat while contest lean. He tends to hover around 23. After a decade of training and applying all his knowledge to himself, and after having run one admitted steroid cycle in the past, he still has a fat-free mass index in the 23 range when he's under 10% body fat. So if 25 is the average, why can't an exceptional individual like this, who is hardworking, has all the knowledge in the world, after a decade still not be able to reach that number even after applying that knowledge to himself? So the reality is 25 is nowhere near average. The 25 is actually the exception to the rule, not the norm. And I've seen guys like Greg Knuckles try to put up charts with these calculations of fat-free mass indexes of these Mr. Americas. They're vastly overestimating their body fat percentages. The thing you need to realize is that you need to plug in appropriate body fat percentages when you start trying to calculate some of these guys right before the pre-steroid era, because a lot of these guys were in the 10 to 13% body fat range when they were winning these contests. They were not 5 or 6 or 7%. When you start plugging in the correct numbers, you'll find most of these guys hover in the 23 to 25 range. One of the few exceptions you see before the well-known steroid era in the mid to late 50s was maybe Bill Pearl. Bill Pearl broke like 26. But there was also suspicions that he may have been using drugs before a lot of other guys got them, or he was just that one rare genetic freak while at 10% body fat or so. He was around 25.5 to 6, so he's the only exception that I know of. But even then, you don't see him hitting a 27 or a 28 or anything crazy like that. It's just barely above what's considered to be the acceptable range. And he might be that one rare genetically gifted person who's able to gain 5 pounds of muscle more than that chart allows for. But when you start seeing guys in the 27, 28, there's no amount of genetics in the world that will get them there. Not even close. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.